Hey! So today on Kitchen Science Projects, I'm going to be making deodorant. Never done this before. Let's see how it goes. I'll be using these containers here. Now I was sort of disappointed when I saw how tiny these are, so make sure you check the size before you order. This is what it looks like. So here we are once again out in my front yard. Gonna cut down some more lemon balm. So I'm out here looking for broadleaf plantain. Let's do it. So I think I have what I need here. Now that we got our lemon balm, we're ready to go in and process it. Now, if you've seen my other videos about lemon balm, you know that this is really good for heart health, anxiety, sleep, can help bring your blood pressure down. There are even studies that it helps with glioblastoma, which is a form of brain cancer. You can use this topically, you can make a balm or a salve out of it, you can make a tincture. There are a lot of different uses. You can dry it and use it as an herb or a spice. You can crush it up and put it into capsules. It is edible. It's a mint. It's got a nice lemony aroma. I've used it to make insect repellent. This is a plant that you just must have in your yard. So I filled my sink with filtered water and I'm just going to soak this in here. It's not going to fit, so I'm going to chop it down. But you can see it's starting to bolt. There are some flowers on here. You really want to try and chop it down before this happens. So we got the broadleaf plantain. Now if you've seen my other videos, you know it's an antifungal. It helps with your gut. It's very good for insect bites and skin conditions. And it can help with wound healing. It can also be made into a drawing salve to draw out splinters. So it's just a very good overall healing plant. It's also edible. It's a bitter, so the leaves are probably not going to be really tasty. They're going to be bitter, but bitters are good for the liver. I'm going to add these to my soak. I'm going to soak this for about an hour. Got the crock pot out here. Now that the leaves are done soaking, I'm going to give them a little pat dry. You can use a salad spinner if you'd like. Now I'm going to take these and put them in the crock pot. I'll be using avocado oil today, but you can use olive oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil, whatever you have. Just try not to use seed oils. Those are really super unhealthy. When I say seed oils, I'm talking about canola oil, vegetable oil, sunflower oil, those type of oils. So I'm just going to pour this in. You especially don't want to use soybean oil. Just going to cover these leaves. This was a full bottle here. I'm probably going to use about half of it. I might even use all of it. Now you can also use shea butter. Put the lid on. I'm going to turn this on to the lowest setting, which is warm. You can see it's got a 4-hour limit. I really want to go 5 hours on this, so I'll come back and reset this later, but we're going to let this go now for 5 hours. So today I'll be using cosmetic grade colorant. This is great for coloring candles. And I'm going to pick out some colors for my deodorant. Normally I wouldn't put coloring in them, but since I'm making 3 different batches, one for men, one for women, and one for outdoor yard work, I need to be able to tell them apart. So I'm going to color each one of them a different color. Okay, let's check out the colors. So we have pink, lime green, red, blue, purple, brown, bright pink, aquamarine, white, green, and black. Well, I think I'm going to rule out black and brown right now, and white. I think I'm going to choose pink for the women's. Let's rule out red and purple. Pink. I think I'll use aquamarine for the men's and lime green for the outdoors. So we'll use those. Now I have a couple of oils picked out for the deodorant. For the women, I have geranium oil, rose, lavender. So I've chosen those. You can even use chamomile, whatever you have. For the men, I have clove oil, which I also use to make toothpaste, rosemary oil, and sandalwood. Give you a nice masculine smell. I also have lemon eucalyptus and lemongrass oil. Now these oils help with insect repellent, so if you want to make your deodorant repel insects, if you're going to be out doing yard work, you're going to be out in the woods, then you would want to use these. Now lavender oil is a nice relaxing, calming oil. It's good if you want to take a nice relaxing bath, helps you de-stress. Also geranium is good for mood, great for anxiety. Rose oil helps with emotional trauma, depression, maybe grief. It's also a great relaxing oil that helps balance hormones, especially for women. That's why I chose those for the women's deodorant. So rosemary oil is good for relieving pain and helping with hair growth. Sandalwood helps with racing thoughts. Clove bud oil, I use this to make toothpaste. This gets rid of bad breath. It's an antifungal and it helps with pain. It helps with a lot of things. This is really great for toothache. These are a powerhouse combination, so I'll be using for the men's. And we don't really want that feminine smell. So I chose those because they are a powerful blend. And the women's I chose because they help balance hormones and they help with mood and they smell a little more feminine. So that's what we're going to do, and that's why I chose those oils. Now I got out a second pan in case I need to dump some of the beeswax in there because this is more than I would use for one batch. But we have to keep this hot, otherwise it'll solidify. So I have a half a cup of baking soda. I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of coconut flour. Now, if you have cornstarch, use that. That would be better. I don't have that, so I'm going to use coconut flour. Just going to give these a little stir. I'm going to put a little bit of mineral salt in here, just for good measure. So as you can see, I got my containers ready here. I removed all of the lids and we're ready to fill these. The beeswax is still melting. Now I have a little bit of color in here from the last project I did. I don't really want that to be there. I'm hoping once I fill it with the correct color, it will look nice. Now I'm going to take these out and discard them because we really want the liquid. Now the next thing I'm going to do is strain this oil with a fine strainer. You can see there's some debris in there. I'm going to put my strainer here. I need 1 cup. This is about a 1/2 cup, so I'm going to go ahead and add this. Now I'm going to stir this and see what it looks like. It's got a texture kind of like applesauce. I don't know if that's right. I've never made this before, but I'm hoping it turns out. Starting to thin out a little bit more. Now since I'm making different batches, I'm just going to pour 1/3 of that right in here. The beeswax is melted. I'm going to take my lavender oil. I'm going to put about 40 drops of each oil. Geranium. Now I'm going to mix in my pink dye. I'm going to take my beeswax mixture and pour it in this measuring cup. Give it a stir. Now I'm going to pour this right in my containers. Now you can see I got one that might be a leaker. We're going to let these set and then we're going to clean up the mess later. Now this is the women's formula. We're getting ready to do the men's. We're going to pour half of this in our measuring cup. The rest will be used for the 3rd batch. Got the blue dye for the men's. Got my 3 oils ready. Now I'm just going to start cleaning these up. Put the lid on. And that'll be ready to go. Now we're going to put 40 drops of each. Got my coloring and put some in there. Stir this up. Now we're going to take this and pour it in here. With our dry ingredients. Gonna give it a good stir here. Try and get it thoroughly mixed. Now we'll fill our containers. You can see they're already starting to set. I'm ready to clean up these and put the caps on. I've already started doing that. Last batch, I'm going to pour this in my measuring cup. Okay, I'm going to stir in my color. Got my lemon eucalyptus oil, 40 drops. Lemongrass oil, 40 drops. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to pour it in my measuring cup. I'm going to give this a little stir till it's all mixed. I'm going to pour it in our containers. Now this one's starting to set early. I'm going to use the scraper that came with the lip balm set, and I'm just going to scrape these. So they look nice and neat. Okay, they're not perfect, but here they are. We got the women's, we got the men's, and we got the outdoor formula.